putting my mic on stream because I just fucking realized that it's not. All right, perfect. No one heard anything that I said, but like I said, no one gives a shit about that anyways. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Starting Beyond the Rift, episode number 40, with the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie joining you here today.
There we go.
Okay. It's me. Skara, give him a quick intro for who you are.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Skara. You know what? I'm just a streamer, man. I like playing League of Legends.
And then joining us today, our special guest. Give him a quick intro for who you guys are.
Yeah, cool. I'm Wav3break. I'm a game designer on League of Legends. I used to work on live gameplay, which is Balance Team, and I did the champion design for Swain's gameplay for his VGU.
And I'm King Cobra. I'm on the playtest team at Riot. I helped out with Swain, and Alex and I also worked on his year as well before that. So the dynamic bird duo.
And let me ask you something. You're the same King Cobra from like solo queue, right?
Yeah, the guy who like plays Cassio in Aurelion Soul.
Yeah,
feeds on your
wait,
TV.
when did you stop playing? I swear to God, I was like playing with you last season. Was that not right? When did you become a Rioter or whatever?
So I became a Rioter in February, and coincidentally, that's also being good at the game. And now I'm like hard stuck D2 or something.
Hey, wait, you said that's coincidentally when you stopped being good, but then you said you're D2. Are you saying that D2 is just awful?
Yeah, wait, that's not how D1 and above, or you're a garbage can.
This is why this guy's a fucking Rioter.
D1.
That's good shit right there. Well, before we get underway with our Swain talk, live question and answer Beyond the Rift Discord server. You guys know, join the Discord, ask your questions. Wonderful questions I know you guys have to ask. Always splendid to hear. Please go ahead and ask them. But let's just get it underway now. So let's go exactly into topic number 1. What exactly does a champion designer and plays tester do at Riot Games? And how do you combine to make a new visual update on a champion?
So champion designer at Riot, it's a role that has to interact with a lot of different disciplines like engineering, art, narrative, sound. Primarily, though, our job is to create the mechanics of the champion. So basically all their spells, how they work together, what kind of strategic space the champion should exist in terms of actual gameplay. And that's not to say we don't have any influence over the art or narrative. It's a very collaborative thing, but we primarily take like a feedback role when it comes to like making decisions on that part. And it's like a real group effort for those things. Yeah.
For a playtester, I think like what most people think we do is just like grind out games. But at Riot, we have a much more like collaborative, I think, role in the process as well. So with Swain, for example, earlier on in development, I gave a lot of feedback on like artistic direction and whatnot. And as the kit became more solidified, I started working with the designers on is the gameplay that we want Swain to like have, is that being realized in what he's doing? Is he balanced? One thing? Just all sorts of stuff like that. I kind of work as like a consultant in terms of like balance, fun, and just like kit cohesiveness, right?
So for champion designer, how exactly do you go about coming up with, I guess, the design of a champion? Because you said that you come up with like the mechanics and stuff. Do you just, wow, I really want a champion that can like pull someone in and let's just build off of that, or how's that work?
Yeah, I think every designer draws inspiration from different things with like, different weighting. But essentially, like for me, usually when I'm talking about ideas with other rioters and we're very inspired by each other's like, oh, what if Swain had this like red arm and he like just shot the shit out of people with lightning or something, right? Like that'd be fucking sick, right? And that can kind of get the ball rolling for me sometimes. just like, oh, so if I actually did that, what would that look like in the game? Maybe something like old Buckshot, stuff like that. And that's kind of how, for example, how I kind of arrived at this view for Swain's current kit. But a lot of other designers can approach a kit from like what does the game holistically need right now, right? Like, we need a tank that can go mid lane, and we kind of want to make that, and Galio's this opportunity to try and do that, right? And so that's kind of why Galio's VGU turned out the way it did, right? Because we saw the strategic space that could be interesting to make a champion in, and all the stuff kind of follows, from that grain.
Okay.
I have a question. As a playtester for a champion, how many games are you playing of that champion before it comes out on live? Because I'm actually curious, like how much actual like playtesting games have you done?
So let's see. For Swain, I hopped on as the lead playtester like maybe halfway through his development, so I probably don't have as many games on him as like most playtesters would. Normally we get like involved very early in the process. But if I'm playing Swain like 3 times a day, 5 days a week, that's like 15 games a week. Like it's easily like probably over 100, 150 games.
Holy
in a week?
No, not in a week. Like throughout the entire development.
All right. I mean, let me ask you about playtesting again. So you like playtest the champions or whatever. What did you think when you playtested a champion like Nina? Because I just had the experience of playing against it, and I loved it. I fell in love with it.
Who'd you say playtest?
You playtested Nunu.
Oh, playtested Nunu? So the situation with Nunu was we thought the buffs were like a really cool direction. We were kind of like tight on test points, so it was like difficult to get him in as many games as we would have liked. We played him in a game with Azir. I was playing Azir and my jungler was Nunu. I popped the hell off and we were like, holy shit, the playtest team like collaboratively was like, this is actually really crazy. And what we do every week is we have like an alignment meeting where we talk about the changes we tested and we kind of get everyone's group thoughts. So with Nunu, we were like, hey guys, really cool direction. This is like some spicy shit. It would be really cool if Nunu could do something like this, but the numbers might be too high. Like we would advise that the numbers should probably be lowered. We don't have like a lot of confidence in this because we couldn't test it a lot. Take that info, that feedback, and do with it what you will. And then live gameplay was like, cool, thanks for the info. We like agreed that maybe things are too high, but let's ship it and see what happens. And here we go. We have 55% new win rate.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I actually kind of like it. I imagine that's not your philosophy on like everything from like Riot, just ship it out, see what happens. But I like when champions like Nunu come out because it's like, I can see the direction that he's going in. And it's like, hey, that's pretty, compared to what he is now, just a steaming, or what he was before, just a steaming pile of fucking garbage. Like, no one wanted
to touch
him.
That shit when he was on your
Yeah,
team.
like, if I got Nunu, it's like, alright, he's fucking trolling me. Now it's like, alright, this guy's actually trying to win the game for me. So I mean, Scar, what do you think of that? Like, because I like to hear that, you know what, let's just throw it out. Let's see what happens if it ends up being...
Okay, I'm only okay with that idea. Like, I think I'm more okay during preseason and midseason, and I'm okay if Riot's willing to do hotfixes. If they're just like, we're gonna throw it out there and we're gonna hotfix the shit out of it if it's bad. I'm okay with that, and I think in the last year, Riot's been a lot better at doing that in terms of hotfixes, where they release something that's like broken, busted, Galio on release, and then within like a day, it got hotfixed. And it's like, if they're willing to go that, like commit to that angle of approach, then I'm okay with Nunu being OP for like a day or two. It's like, oh shit, like, well, we messed up, get him out of here.
Yeah, so we got 5 bans for it too, so.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we aspire to hotfix everything we release, right? Because you do want most players to understand what's happening in the patch, and generally the best way for that is if all the patch notes are correct and we don't have to change them mid-patch. So it's definitely not something we aspire to do, but definitely we are more open to doing it, and obviously taking slightly larger risks because of that openness, right?
Yeah,
it's a new strat.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoy that. Yeah, Riot has the willingness to just throw something out there, like, hey, maybe this will be pretty cool. Ah, fuck it, kind of a little too much. Whatever, let's just change it up. I like that. That's pretty fun.
All right, so can you leak it for us? Is he getting hot? Is this like in a couple of days, Nunu will be like a lot weaker than he is?
I don't have perfect context on when or what it will be, but I'm certain they're probably talking about it right now and maybe preparing it. I don't know.
I think there's been discussions.
Yeah, there's definitely been discussions.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next topic then. So, when looking to rework Swain, what were the key themes you decided to use to rebuild this champion?
Yeah, this is a pretty insane question actually, because we kind of went full circle on Swain. I think he's probably one of the most challenging VGU projects like we as a team have tried to do. Mostly because like he has so many competing themes, right? He's like this master tactician guy, or was this warlock dude with a pet. Also, he's the leader of Noxus. We were trying to figure out like what should Swain be really, right? Like what should the Swain in players' imaginations actually be and be cohesive? And so there's that one point where like we just got rid of all the birds.
Dude, there were no birds. It was like when I first joined Riot, when I saw it, and I was like, wait, who's this dude? He's just like, he's not Swain. He ain't my bird dad. What the heck?
Yeah, I think very quickly we understood that we wanted him to use like, death magic, like have this kind of demonic power, because like, narratively he controls this demon, right? And that's kind of how he rises to his position. And so we didn't necessarily see birds as necessary in that picture. But, throughout the process, it was like, this just isn't genuine to what players like about Swain, and who even like, as a player who's played for 7 years or so, I was like, this guy's supposed to be the bird guy, right? Like, where the fuck are the birds?
I mean, I really enjoy the way that he looks now. Like, yeah, the way that he looked before, he was like kind of, I think of him like kind of like Gangplank, where he had like a parrot. I mean, that was one of his skins, but that's just how I thought of Swain whenever I looked at him. He's like just a fucking pirate or some shit. Like, I had no idea what the fuck he was supposed to be. It's just like, whatever, man. Like, looking at the way he looks now, he looks pretty fucking awesome. I mean, for the abilities, you guys switched it up a lot. How many CCs does he have? Is it just Never Move in his passive now, or?
So the Never Move is the root. Then he can pull you from his passive, and then his W, Vision of Empire, is a slow.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually doesn't have a lot of CCs on his own kit compared to some of our early releases, like I guess last year. Sorry. But he enhances like everyone else's game, right? Like he can just pull a dude Maokai rooted with his W. That shit's pretty free. But
I mean, Sky, is there a topic that goes more in depth with this shit, or can I just ask them?
Yeah, it does. It's like the next one, right?
All right, let's go to the next topic
next
then. Okay, explain Swain's role in a team in game and how players should look to use his abilities in a rotation.
So, like team composition wise, Swain is probably like best in the mid lane. Still think you could take him top lane, but we've like primarily played him as a mid laner. He probably works best on like deathball comps. So I know like you'd probably see like SKT, they run like Maokai, Jarvan, Cassiopeia, like Varus, and then Tom Kench, right? Swap out Cassio for Swain. And like that team counts like nuts for him. He gets his passive off of like Jarvan's knockup, Maokai's root, like even Tahm Kench's stun. Like if you have a team that enables him, he's going to find a lot of success. He also is really good with like run it down comps. Like he gets Sivir and Karma on his team, and suddenly like his low mobility becomes non-existent, and he'll just train through enemies. I think like the third comp that he's really good with is like a multi-threat comp. So when the enemy team has like other targets that are more of a priority to deal with than Swain, he very quickly he'll like take over a team fight, because usually once he has his ultimate, you need to like devote multiple resources to keep him down. In terms of like ability comboing, in lane, the standard would be like fishing with your E, your never move, when like an enemy goes for a last hit. And then since the snare is like 1.5 seconds, you have a little bit of time to position yourself to pull them in a direction where it'll pull through creeps and you can line up a Q. Or you'd like pull them into your W. And that's like a pretty good trade for Swain, because he's going to get, if you land a W, you get 2 soul fragments. So you're healing whatever retaliation the enemy mid laner throws at you. And then his W opens up like a whole nother like slew of use cases. Like you could use W to scout people doing objectives. Like later in the game, it has a 10-second cooldown. So check Baron safely with it. You can use it to like gank people. So quote unquote, like you can walk down the river, use it to zone off the enemy bot laner if they're like getting ganked, force them into a bad position. If your Maokai top is like tower diving or some shit, you W on top of the enemy when they root. He has there's a lot of things to do.
What's the range on?
It's pretty versatile.
What's the range on Swain's W?
It is 3,500 range.
Holy
3,500. In development, at one point it was like 6,000 range, and literally on cooldown, I'd walk like slightly into the river bot lane and like fish just to like piss off the bot laner. Robert Lee would get so upset.
That was a little bit unfair. You know?
Yeah, that's.
So we cut it down.
Wait, does it go up per level or no?
No,
Okay.
No, it's static.
Wow, that's pretty crazy though, because I could definitely see that thing being a huge pain in the ass for just having to deal with Swain just throwing that shit at you from like a mile away. But for
it's a pretty expensive spell. Like I think it scales up to 130 mana per cast, and Swain's other spells have a lot of mana cost as well. So I think if you're managing your like pacing and lane well, you can throw them, but you do have to pay a slight positioning cost to like get the best spots on the map, right? Like going to bot lane, you probably need to walk to Dragon Pit or a little bit further, and obviously your opponents know where you are if you're doing that. But it's definitely very, very powerful, and I expect it to be the spell that like most players will take a longer time to like learn in terms of like what they can do with it.
For Swain's build, do you still expect it to be the same like tanky kind of build, or what were you guys doing during playtesting for him?
So I've gone back and forth. Like normally I build Roa into like Lucidity Boost, Leandri, Zanya's, so like pretty much live Swain. The other build that we found success with, if we could get away with it, was just like standard Burst Mage, Morello Namakan, Leandri's, Boots. He really loves CDR. His Q goes down to like a 2-second cooldown. So if you can hit 45% CDR, it's like on a 1.1 second cooldown. Wow. And with a lot of AP, that thing will hit you for like 900 damage if you land like a point blank Q.
I mean, what's the cooldown of his like, how does his passive work? You can't just stack CCs on a champion over and over again and just keep dragging them further and further.
No. Okay. It's got an internal cooldown. It scales from like, I believe it's 12 to 6. I think it gets to 6-second cooldown at like level 11, and this CDR doesn't affect it. So it's like, it should be a learnable window. Maybe it's a little bit too good right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, that thing seems pretty nutty, because like when I saw that as his I thought that'd be like an ability, just his passive being that. I was like, that's pretty That's interesting. I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, I'm curious, how much are you guys allowed to push the boundary on new stuff, like new concepts when you're doing visual updates? Because I would say like, that like isolation and then right clicking to grabbing people, displacement is like a unique thing to Swain. It hasn't been seen in another champion. So like, do you feel like you're just allowed to like always do new stuff in any visual update that you guys do?
I think like from design side, we tend to always strive to like make something feel unique, right? Because we want every piece of content, every champion in our game to feel different from each other. And it really comes down to like, can you make a good argument as to why this should be unique and if this is the best way for it to be unique? And so I think that we try to hit a certain bar of like uniqueness period, but how we do it or how much we do depends on the designer behind it trying to push for it and, getting good feedback from gameplays and playtesting and proving it out, right? So.
One more thing about his passive, you said it has an internal cooldown. It's for like one champ. Like if I just CC 3 different champions, I can pull them all in, right? Or no?
No, it's a static cooldown. It's not a per champion.
Okay, all right. I was thinking like if you got Galio with him or some shit, he just 5-man taunts him and you just start dragging them all in.
Yank all of them.
Yeah. All right, maybe it's not as nutty as I thought. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I was thinking like you just start dragging everyone into you. Also, for his ulti, does it work the same way that Vlad's E works, where it can be body blocked, the like soul explosion or whatever it's called?
It can be body blocked by champions, but not me.
Okay.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's an ultimate explosion that goes through the minions, man. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, I have a question. So like, when I first heard about Swain and like his ulti, for people who don't know, like you get like a bunch of shards doing your abilities. You get a shard off your passive, you get a shard off your W, all kinds of like demon shards like put it in, and then with it you can use your ulti. In my mind, when you start collecting shards like this, you're like creating power, and then you want the power to end up in like explosion. That's kind of how I see it. And the way it ends up is like kind of similar to Vlad E. So like, I feel like at least maybe visually, or maybe it's just like the actual ability seems like a very toned down ability. Like, why did you guys not go like super ham, like to the moon with this ability?
So the soul gameplay was something that's like was iterated on a lot in development, and I think that for at least me when I was playing Swain, I was very cognizant of it feeling like a mini game almost. Like the feedback that I would give Alex a lot is like, oh, right now with this iteration of Swain, I have to pay too much attention to my souls, and I'm not like enjoying the champion because of it. Like it's almost like Skarner Spires, right? But so as we went on and on, eventually like the soul gameplay turned into like, oh yeah, you get these things, you care about them, but they don't define the character. At least that's the way that I do it. I don't know if Alex has some more insight on it that he can provide.
Yeah, I think the soul system definitely took a lot of iterations throughout development compared to many of the other things we put on his kit. And largely it's because, like Rosa said, Swain playing as we didn't want too much mindshare to be around this soul minigame when we had so many other compelling parts on the kit for you to interact with. And also it was kind of difficult to balance the correct like amount you would need for a certain amount of power. Sometimes it would just lead to games where Swain felt like he was just super powerful because his team composition was just really good and let him have like full souls all the time. And sometimes, he was against Xerath and like Vel'Koz or something like that, and you just can't interact with those champions, and then it felt like your ultimate was just worth nothing. I think ultimately we wanted to find a easier middle ground to craft the Swain experience around, and so we kind of ended up at this system we have that we're about to ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the
Okay.
next topic then. So Riot have had both a combination of success and failures when it comes to updating old champions. Which updates are the ones that highlight these the best?
So I personally think Warwick was like a great rework. Warwick was once a popular champion. His kit became like pretty outdated. Felt like we could really like crank his theme up to 11 and give him a more modern kit without like significantly changing what he did. And he turned out like really great. Like I think like reception to him was super positive, and you see him in game, and he's like pretty cool champion. And then you also have champions like Galio, where they were never really like super popular. They needed more dramatic changes. And so while it's like, oh, it kind of feels like Galio is a whole new champion than what he used to be, he's arguably much better for the game as a whole. And then you have like Kog'Maw and Rengar, which were kind of reverting because their gameplay didn't play out how they wanted to. And there's LeBlanc, who is a whole slew of like balance problems right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we do our VGUs, which are generally like higher budget projects, you know, we spend way more time on them, grow like way more art resources, narrative resources, and like just think about what this champion is really supposed to be in our IP way more. It tends to turn out really well. And I think it really shows with Warwick and Galio. When we do like smaller reworks, it's a little bit riskier because we're not necessarily upgrading some of these other parts of the champion. We're solely focused on solving like a gameplay problem, and it's a tough challenge to get the like exact change list that is needed to solve our problem and not create new ones, right? And yeah, I think that's generally the story.
I mean, Scar, I'll say, for me, I feel like I agree with you guys. Warwick does feel probably like the best rework since playing, like, I love playing that champion now. What he used to be was just some brain dead fucking, you just press R at people and then you just die. You press R, you use your attack speed boost for your team, and then you just die. And that was the champion.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah, now it's like you press R, but there's like counterplay to it. People can do stuff. It's like interesting. He's got like his Q that he can outplay with. I really enjoy Warwick. My least favorite though,
I did too, man.
probably, I'd say Graves. I hate Graves.
Oh,
Graves, like, I love that champion, what he used to be. What he is now is like, I understand where like he's going or where he was supposed to go with it, but I just, something about his kit compared to what it used to be. He used to be such an interesting champ. I mean, maybe he wasn't interesting, but he was a fucking AD champion, and it was another champion I could play bottom. I don't really feel his kit now, though. Sky, what would be your favorite and least favorite, though?
Oh, I really like Urgot. I think that like before Urgot was a champ, I literally didn't play. And then afterwards, Urgot's like, oh shit, dude. When I see like my ulti someone, I feel good. Like I feel really good about myself, you know? In terms of reworks where I didn't like, I mean, I feel like it's just not fair to bring up Rise, so I can't talk about that champion. I think Skarner is a big one now. It's like a lot. I like that they're trying to buff him to be like more consistent and just a better champion right now. I think he's actually workable right now. But when you have so much hit power built into like the mini game, like you said before, I feel like it becomes less about people having fun playing the champion and more about people like, okay, well, let me get the spy over here. Let me grab the spy over there. And then like, we can fight around these areas, spire, spike. But it feels generally like not great to play the champion.
Yeah, I can't see where you're coming from with that. Cause yeah, I had a game today where it was just level 1, the Skarner just pinging all this, stand on these fucking spires for me, level 1, so I can jump. He's just telling everyone, like, go to these spires right now so I can fucking clear my jungle, so.
We try to avoid playing Skarner in our playtests because what winds up happening is all the playtesters go full monkey mode over getting the spires at level 1, and it winds up with like stupidly like degenerate snowball game states where like none of the test points get accurate reads or anything. It's like, all right, guys, you know what? If we're playing starter, just no one go to the spires. Avoid that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that because that's basically how it's like you get. It's just fucking everyone just chimping out, like get to these goddamn spires, everyone. So let's go to the next topic. Yeah, I will say though one more thing about Graves. I fucking love him because he was like an AD champion that got in people's faces and just wanted to fuck you up. We need another AD champion like that.
Wait, dude, you got Lucian. Lucian's literally like old Graves.
Okay, Lucian has a 40% win rate or some shit.
You know what? Lucian must see, man.
Yeah, I love Lucian too. Yeah, Lucian is basically like, I mean, I like him better than the old Graves. He is basically a better Graves, but he just kind of sucks right now. I just like to reminisce about the past or whatever, but I like ADs that get in people's faces. So let's just go to the next.
That's like that. That's a manly gameplay.
Yeah, I like dying a lot. The rework has very Vlad-like qualities, and some people are worried he lost his champion identity with the rework. What are your thoughts on this?
I guess like, is it the gameplay or is it the more the visuals that players are concerned about on this front?
Well, I think it's like both, right? Like for me, like you guys said before, I think it's what's her name, Beatrice. I think that like I guess for me in particular, I'm curious why you guys didn't have like her like remaining part of the kit. Maybe as like. It was the visual effect of the E going out is like the bird going back and forth, or like the some random other ability hit, like the W is like a gigantic bird it comes in and like hits you, or like the Q is like a bird that's shot.
I can answer that because that'd be fucking stupid, but I'll let Riot.
All right. Correct with that. So to give like a bit more insight, with the comment that Alex and we focus more on gameplay, right? Like we have really talented artists and narrative guys that kind of put together what Swain should be. And when you're looking at Swain and we're looking at like what do we want to him and what do we want him to be, we're thinking, well, he's going to be like the Emperor of Noxus. And so thematically, we can't have like this green dude who's going to be like tossing birds at you. That's not what the Emperor of Noxus should be doing, right? When he has like Katarina and Talon and Darius and Draven as his like minions, the big bad guy shouldn't be tossing birds at you. That's kind of lame. But so in terms of visuals, you can argue that he kind of looks like Bloodlord Vladimir. I think Vlad needs like a VGU or not a visual update himself someday, so we're not too worried about that. But Swain is like supposed to be an emperor. He's while he's a battle leader, I guess he's not like on the front lines anymore. So he has long hair. He's very aristocratic. His powers generate from a demon of secrets. So you see a lot of eyes in his abilities. Like his W, for example, is a giant eye. Noxus colors are like black and red, so his powers are generally all red. And I think we really wanted to drive home that he was the leader of Noxus, and so.
Yeah, and as the leader of Noxus, Vladimir is Noxian. He's actually just copying Swain.
That's good. I like that one. I haven't heard that angle before. That sounds.
I mean, he's the leader now. Has been actually. So
yeah, Vlad just stole his image.
Yeah, I can see that working out. That sounds pretty good. I will say, yeah, I think that he does kind of look like Vladimir, but I feel like the problem with Swain that he always had, just when I think of Swain, the fucking bird, I feel like it doesn't really belong with him. It's just. It was there, and now it's, like, stuck to his fucking name, so now it's like, shit, we gotta do something around this stupid-ass bird or whatever. Like Scars, I don't know what the name is. It's Beatrice, right? That's the name of the fucking bird.
It's Beatrice, man. She's still around. I think we were able to do some really cool stuff with place more soul fragments you have. like Ravens start showing up on the map and they follow.
Yeah, I saw.
Like he has a.
I saw that. That shit looks cool as fuck. But like, what's the lore behind Beatrice? Like, do you know what the story is behind the bird on his shoulder?
So in his splash art.
Yeah, I mean.
So there's gonna be stuff that we like. Stuff coming soon that's going to give you guys more like insight on what Swain is all about and why he has birds at all. So I don't really think it's our place right now to kind of give that away.
Okay,
we'll let that come up when it comes out.
Yeah, because I saw the when Swain walks around, birds start to like come up. Let me ask you though. The enemy team can't see that from like Fog of War, right? The like birds crowd.
No.
Okay, I just have to make sure. Yeah, that shit looks fucking awesome though. Just seeing all the birds crowding around as he like walks around. That kind of shit is like completely pointless from like a gameplay standpoint, obviously. But when I see it, it's like, damn, that's cool. Like it's just like cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, dude, it feels mad cool to watch. He started a game, his theme music is playing while you have all your birds and you're walking the lane.
Wait, he has theme music too?
Wait.
Yeah, he's got some things.
Wait, really? That's sick.
Wait, yeah, he's like
dude,
Jin now. What the hell? Dude, that's why I love playing Jin, is when you just fucking load up and you hear that stupid song. I don't know what the hell that thing is. That shit, like, Jin thematically is probably my favorite champion ever released with Riot. So if Swain has theme music too, I'm be all over that fucking champion.
Oh yeah, there you go, dude.
Yeah, that's all you need, theme music.
I think you'll have a lot of fun, dude. There's a lot of cool stuff we stuck in there just for players like you, man.
I like that. Alright, let's go. Alright, Scar, you got anything else about?
No, I'm good.
Alright, let's go to what's the next project on the radar for you guys at Riot?
Oh man. So I can't get into too much. There's gonna be like a Ryan Morales, the champion lead. This is his official position, PO of champion. He's gonna release like the champion roadmap thing that'll talk about what's coming down the line. I think we're pretty far into development on Aurelia though. She's pretty cool. I know we had Aurelia carry Z try her out, and he was like super hyped about her.
You're reworking Aurelia?
Yeah, that's public knowledge, man.
No. Yeah, I know.
They have like a website that shows.
I don't read the fucking reworks because I like being. I like waking up one day. Oh shit, this champion got reworked. What the fuck, dude? Wait, so.
Yeah, dude, surprise, man.
Wow, that's actually.
This year's gonna be pretty spicy.
Yeah, there's some cool shit coming.
I'm really excited for this year.
Scott, what champion do you want reworked? Would you like reworked?
I'm not gonna say right. Aatrox, dude, get me that champion. Oh no! Forget Aatrox. Yeah, everyone wants Aatrox. I don't want Aatrox. I want Volibear.
Okay.
I want Volibear because like
Volibear?
I actually used to play a ton of Volibear. I love that champion. Like I think it's cool that he's like a bear. He gets in your face, and, like scraps you out. But like he's not good, and his like kit sucks. Like,
dude, God, just the way you describe this champion, no one. He's a fucking bear that gets in your face. What kind of fucking, like, no one gives a shit about Volibear, dude. Pick a champion someone gives a fuck about. I want Lucian to turn into something that, I want him to turn into the thing that he can be. Because right now, he just gets nerfed into the ground every time. I want them to just let him loose, man. I remember when I went to the Riot Studios, and he was like, Sky, do you remember this? He was like a fucking gunslinger or some shit, and he'd like shoot his guns all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking cool. I want that shit.
Wait, that was back when, holy, that was a long time ago.
That was like 6 years ago or some shit.
Yeah, that's when they showed us like early iterations of Quinn and stuff like that. That was a long time ago.
No, that was when they showed us the earlier iteration of Jing. Holy shit, dude. That was fun. Do you remember that?
I don't think so. I actually don't.
I remember they showed us the early iteration of Jane. Like her ulti would like drop bombs. Like it'd be a bomb and then it'd throw bombs onto the ground. I was like, what the fuck, man? This shit's fucking crazy. Wait, so I'll say is there anything that you can tell us that's on the radar for Riot Games, or just wait until the roadmap comes out?
There are things that I want to say that I know I can't say, so I'm just gonna say wait till the roadmap.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, roadmap's coming out soon. It'll be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be real cool.
How soon? Soonish or sooner?
Fairly soon.
Fairly soon.
Oh my god.
No, I think within a month or something.
A month, 2 months, 3 months,
Maybe.
5 months. All right.
No, like a month.
A month. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. You will have more info soon.
Just trying to squeeze something out of you. Scar, you got?
Nah, dude, my lips are sealed.
Scar, you got anything you want to hear about the project?
Dude, I feel like they're NDA too much, man. Oh, I did want to go back to that a little bit because you guys said it before. Right before we get into the Discord stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were the dynamic duo that did this year.
Yeah.
What happened?
I was like too bad at playing him in playtests, so we had to buff him so that I could succeed. And then we're like, okay, Cobra finally ship it. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. Actually,
I mean, I have my own analysis.
yeah, I'll let Alex do the
So
talking.
I think Azir is much easier to play for most players now, which was one of the primary goals. It lets us tune in a bit more closely to, not complete trash for most players, but, is godlike in a set few hands. Before runes shipped, we nerfed a lot of mid lane champions for Worlds, and then also runes, I think, has been pretty favorable for him as well. That being said, obviously he's tuned very powerfully right now. I do think we should definitely revisit him soon and do a few tweaks here and there to make him a bit less oppressive when, Meteor and Perksy and all this stuff exists in the game, right?
Let me ask you, relating to Azir, though, how do you guys take in, I don't know how else to phrase this, do you guys take into account, players' brain scaling with the champion? Because, yeah, some like Azir, he's, kind of hard to play, he's a little easier now to play, but for a lot of players, they still struggle, doing, I don't want to say basic shit, but basic shit, even when I play solo queue now, I'll play playing at challenge. People can't fucking do the show. It's dude, this champion's been out for 3 years. How the fuck can't you shuffle yet? How hard is it to balance taking into account that players will learn how to play a champion better, and if you buff it and they start learning faster, then how's that work?
Yes, it's always you really kind of have to do this once more people get their hands on it, right? Because that's kind of the thing about most games, right? Players will always find a way more so than the devs, because they just play the game way more, are really focused on breaking it because they want to win. And historically, a lot of basic things that designers can do to make it less true for a champion to suddenly become broken in the hands of a god or something is obviously very sharp counters built into their kit. Things like mechanics that don't rely on super low ping to be effective. These are just some examples of ways to make a champion a bit more resistant to evolving in a way we don't have good control over. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. Let's go to let's get to that final topic. Skara said it. Discord question and answer. Oh, baby, there's going to be some good questions in here. So let's get straight into it. Let's start off by taking a little look-see. We'll start off. This is a great question. What are your guys' thoughts on stopwatch, the whole stopwatch issue? So I'll start off by saying I love stopwatch. I think it's super interesting. The people that complain about it are probably dude, it's not hard to hit tab and this guy has stopwatch. It's not hard to hit tab and probably assume that everyone has stopwatch. Does that make it broken? I don't know, but it makes it interesting. I feel in League of Legends, people are just gonna always gravitate towards the thing that's best. They're not gonna be. You know what, dude? I like playing Jinx, but I like going kleptomancy. It's like, no, they're not fucking idiot. They're gonna go the shit that works, and they're gonna keep doing it. So, like, I don't have a problem with stopwatch. I think that on the PvE, it's gonna be changed to be in the same spot as boots, right? Or
yeah.
I think with that, you're probably still gonna see stopwatch, but probably not as much as it is now. And honestly, I don't have a problem with stopwatch, but I'll let the Riot guys give their opinion on it.
So as a playtester, I really like stopwatch. I like the plays that it opens up, and also like the stuffs that it opens up too, I guess. As someone who plays like kite mages and stuff, I love seeing Fizz sad and Zed sad. But
No.
but personally, like, I don't think it's that problematic. Like, if you were to ask me what really bothers me with the game right now, or like last patch, it would have been like all the relic shield stuff that was going on bot lane.
I fucking hate
that
it.
stuff had to go, or like Gangplank having a coin in Klepto and having way more gold than you despite you like being up in farm. That really bothers me. Stopwatch is honestly, like, in my opinion, like the least of our problems.
Yeah, I like stopwatch a lot. There's probably like good reasons to move it to another slot, but I think the primary thing for me when I play the game, playing against stopwatch as like a Zed or a Fizz, because the timer is like pretty opaque. It's like 6 minutes, I think, for it to activate.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty early in the game, and usually a lot of these champions, like assassin-like champions, rely on a level 6, level 9 kind of all in, and putting them on such a short clock to like find an advantage makes it really hard for those characters to exist, in my opinion. I don't think it's like crippling them, because I think the average player isn't good at using stopwatch, but I think for, higher level play, like these types of champions need a bit more time window to find an advantage, and stopwatch might just be choking them out a bit more than we'd like. So that's kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, nerf it to 8 minutes or more. Thank you. I'm serious. I don't even mind them doing I saw a comment that someone said that it should just do the exact thing Boots does. Starts at 10 minutes, it goes down 30 seconds per kill. I'm just like, that sounds good to me.
Oh, I think there's like if you make it like dependent on kills or something like that, at least for like these really snowbally situations where the person who's like getting the kills and snowballing, they don't need to use their stopwatch, and so the poor person who's like behind is like, oh, I need to find a way back in the game, and they find the pick, and then the enemy just stopwatches, and you're like, ah, shit.
I guess it's true. Right? I'm down just for a flat cooldown increase, because
that might be more appropriate.
At hitting level 6 as an assassin, it shouldn't be that I hit level 6 and then 10 seconds later I get the stopwatch, and I'm just like, well, I guess I can't all in him until I force this, and then I force this barrier the next time. And then like, oh, but the jungler's there the next time, and his barrier's back up, and then now they have zombies. And I'm just like, wait, this doesn't seem right.
Oh, dude, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my opinion's different because I play bottom. I'm just used to getting like 5-man gangbang 24/7. Like stopwatch actually gives me. It's like everyone's TPing bottom. I'm fucking dead. Stopwatch. Oh my god, I'm fucking alive. I'm not gonna die to the 5-man fucking bot lane this time, dude. Like. I fucking love stopwatch. I'm okay if they nerf it a little bit to like 8 minutes, because honestly, it doesn't fucking make a difference. I just use it to get away from a fucking 5-man one time. So, if they nerf it, whatever, man. I think that it's okay, but let's go to the.
I'll still do what it needs to do.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. So, Kaneki wants to know: are new keystones going to be released soon, and what are they? This is a question.
So. Can't say soon, can't say what they'll be. We do want runes to be something that we can like continue to evolve throughout the season. Like right now we keep the game fresh with champions, VGUs. Runes is like a really cool opportunity space for us to like introduce things. So if you were to ask me like, oh, will there be new keystones in the future? I'd say probably yes. There'll probably be like a lot of new runes in the future. I don't know when. But yeah, there will be new stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a very exciting time for League. The rune system has like given designers a lot of, I guess, creative expression on how they want to solve some big meta problems. And I think over the year and, continuing into the future, we'll see how it plays out, and it'll be super cool for sure.
Okay. This is Fane wants to know, is Swain's passive intended to work on enemies affected by Blastcon as it currently works on PvE? That's actually pretty fucking cool if it works like that.
Enemies were knocked up by an ally popping the blast code, yes. If they use it themselves, no.
Okay. I like this Swain question. You guys are gameplay, right? You're not Okay, well, I'll just ask the question anyway. Swain Questions wants to know, the Champions lore do not fit the 5v5 Destroy the Nexus gameplay. Are there any plans to fix that? This guy cares about the lore. Skara, stop laughing. People want the fucking lore, Skara. That's what it's all about, man. What are the plans to make the Nexus destruction fit into lore?
The next question.
Wayne personally destroy Castle.
Nexus.
Destroy everyone, dude. Trust me.
Let's go to Hey, dude, I'll say though, that was a good question for the guy that asked it, man. I like that one.
Yeah, dude, nice attempt.
Yeah. Jay Long wants to know, any plans to rework the Death recap to make it show relevant information? Yeah, I've seen Death. Death recap, I think.
Like the oldest meme.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has been the hardest to kill. I think we're definitely doing stuff. At least recently started thinking about it more, or actually putting people on the project. But I'm not sure when or what it'll look like.
Okay. Vanta Shadow wants to know, are we going to be seeing another AD who's based around spells like Ezreal? I want to see that shit, because I fucking love Ezreal's playstyle.
Hey, you'll see another AD in the future. They're pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to,
Yeah.
These guys, dude.
What the heck? I'm not giving you what you...
I can respect that. I can respect that.
You can fly out here and try them out.
Yeah.
Hey, Scar, have you tried them out?
No, but I think I might be going to the Riot Studios to do something like that soon. In the future. We'll see.
Benno Bebo wants to know, how much do you guys take player wishes into account when balancing? I want to say, I hope you guys don't take any of their fucking wishes. I hope you guys look at Reddit and then laugh and then close that shit. But I'll let you guys answer it.
I want to say it's like a combination, but I don't know if that's correct. So obviously we like look at data and stuff. We look at like what players are being vocal about. Obviously, we want to address their frustrations. But yeah,
I think so I've worked on the balance team for almost 2 years now, or before I was doing Swain, and I think we fuck up when we do a nerf that completely ruins the feel of a champion, or what people really like to do on that champion, and just make that unviable. So I think designers really try to, empathize with what players of that champion are enjoying, and try to find ways to obviously hit our goal of nerfing the champion, but in a way that makes sense to how a player would want it to be, right? It's definitely a hard thing to do correctly every time, especially when there's a lot of different things a designer could be focusing on. But we definitely don't want to make a change that completely ruins the thing that everyone really likes, unless there's some critical, design reason that we ourselves got wrong on the initial design of the champion, right?
Okay. Well, on that note, this guy also asked, what are your opinions on Hushinshin's design philosophies? Very good, I'm assuming.
Hey, he's got some good stuff, I guess. I don't know. I haven't honestly too much into what Shinshin has said about top lane?
Yeah, I haven't paid a lot of attention to his recent stuff. I think he tends to get like overly on the way he presents his arguments, and so it's difficult to take that seriously sometimes. But I do think in general, melee champions in League have always been a difficult like design space that even now we're still trying to solve. Like how do they exist? What they should do to win the game? What's like fun for them, but not like ridiculous to like opponents, right? Like we could obviously like buff Jax or Master Yi to just do like 10 more damage on everything or something, but it probably doesn't feel that great to lose to them in that way. So it's a hard problem that a lot of designers spend a lot of time thinking about that hopefully one day we get to.
Scar, let me ask you that. What are your opinion on Hoshinshin's design philosophies?
I think he's just frustrated that breezers aren't great, and there's no breezer keystone, which, I mean, makes sense. But I think that a lot of what he talks about in, like, range versus melee disparities and stuff like that, I don't agree with, actually. Because, yes, ranged champions get, like, you know, the benefit of being ranged. But I think that you could play around a lot of that manipulating creep aggro and using your player skill. But rather than doing that, I feel like he just like brute forces his like efforts on a brick wall, and like sometimes he smashes through it, and a lot of times he smashes his head.
Dude,
so
I will say that
it's difficult.
That's why I respect the shit. Like his shit, I don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. Like when I play with him, it's just like whatever, dude. I don't give a shit. But he's like Vi, dude. Like with Vi, when you hit a wall, hit it harder, dude. Shinshin hits like no one's fucking ever seen. Like he just beats that fucking thing, and it's either he's beating his hands into a pulp or he's beating the wall into a pulp. And I fucking love that about his Shinshin, dude. Anyone that's that dedicated to the game, even if they're like saying stupid shit, dude, good shit, his Shinshin. That's why I fucking love you, man.
All right.
But that's gonna conclude Beyond the Rift. I want to thank our special guest, the Rioters, for coming on, dude. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule, Scar, dude. If the people want more of you, where can they get you?
Just find me on Twitch and Twitter at Scara. I'll be streaming after this and within the hour.
Last time I did this, I didn't ask the designers, and Scara flamed me, so I'll go ahead. If the people want more of you guys, where can they get more of you?
I think I'm on Twitter, Riot King Cobra, and sometimes I stream LOL_King_Cobra. I'll probably try to get on PvE and play some Swain games this weekend, so maybe you'll see me there. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm also on Twitter. It's Wav3break with a 3. I don't use it as often as Rosa probably does, but I'm on Reddit and the boards all the time. Definitely reading, maybe not posting as often as I used to, but yeah.
All right, and you guys know where to find us. Every Thursday, Beyond the Rift, be there or be square. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude it for us today. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Smell you later, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, guys.